Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Carissa, and today I wanted to share what I've learned like my first year of Booktube. I am just like a couple days short of filming this with like being my first full year. It is Saturday, June 29th. So like my Booktube anniversary is July 1st. So like I'm like literally like 2 days away from being on Booktube for a full year, and I'm like, it's crazy how fast a year went. Like, it's just like when I started, couldn't imagine like how far I have come in like a year. Or so it went fast. I'm not gonna lie, for me it went fast. So I do want to let you guys know, I do have notes on my phone, or like points that I want to get to. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I just didn't want to get like too off topic, because I filmed this video like 3 times, and like I feel like I've babbled and I didn't know where I was going with this video. So yeah, lesson learned. So we're gonna start with like my first point. Like the biggest thing I've learned, like, and like I haven't implemented till like recently, is like bulk filming. So I feel like this was like a really big one, and it was like, I feel like it was more of like a big lesson, because it's just like I was filming like one video at a time, like the day before it went up. So like I'm not a big fan of like having to wear makeup. So like if I only have to wear makeup like one day out of the week, and then like get all my videos filmed, and then be able to like just wash it off at the end of the day, and then have like 4 or 5 videos like all done. Yes, I feel like it takes a while, because like every time I've done it, it's taken me literally like all day, but I do have like all my videos filmed for like at least that week. So that's what I have appreciated. I don't know, like I'm not like the biggest fan of makeup. Like I like it when it's done, and I like when like I don't mind wearing it, but it's just like not my favorite thing. So to go back to my point of like bulk filming, like I feel like it's just like the greatest thing ever, and I don't know why I didn't do it beforehand. So I feel like with this being like one of like the bigger lessons, and the fact that like bulk filming, like I can edit, like if I don't have to like rush and edit a video, which has definitely helped, and then I can like schedule them and then not have to worry about it. So that's like one of like the biggest lessons I've learned. I want to say in like May-ish, June definitely, but yeah. And to go with filming, I have also learned like pretty much during like the month of June, is to make sure that like your camera is on like the right settings. I participated for like the month of June, I participated in the Amazing Readathon. Going back to edit those clips, I learned, I realized that when I went back to edit, like they were all in slow motion and none of them had sound. So like my second lesson to go along with like the whole filming and like editing part of it, was to like always double check like your camera settings, and like to make sure that your clips are good before like you go edit. I wanted to combine like weeks 2 and 3, but I couldn't, because like my clips had like no sound and they're all in slow motion. So that's definitely like another big lesson that I have learned. So that's a big reason why that you guys haven't seen like the Amazing Readathon vlogs pretty much in like the month of June. Like I didn't do one for week 4, because it's like I was afraid to like actually do it and then have it on the wrong settings. And also like when I've learned like going back to like bulk filming, when you when you do an entire video and it's in slow motion and no sound, having to refilm like an entire video, not my favorite thing in the world. So going to my next point, another thing that I've learned, which has definitely helped, is the library and Hoopla. I didn't realize Hoopla was a thing. I've always used Libby. Yeah, like 90% of the time, like I'd either go to like my actual library or use Libby. I am definitely glad that I learned about Hoopla, because it's just like, I feel like it's kind of like Hoopla and Libby. I feel like, I don't know if like Hoopla and Libby are like the exact same thing or not, but like I have definitely like found Hoopla like a very good resource along with my library. Like I love my library like to death, and the fact that like I only live like 5 minutes away now, like it's like a 5-minute walk. So I would say like the biggest, like the biggest, not like the biggest, but like another thing that I learned is to like use those free resources. And then like the fact that I don't have to go and buy the book before I read it, and then I can just go get it from the library, and then like after I read the book, if I liked it enough, then I can go and buy it. So not only does the library like save me money, it's just like I feel like I can read from new authors without like having the risk of like buying the book and then end up not liking the author's writing style and then have spent the money on the book. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense in my head. But just let me know. I would say like another lesson that I have, this one might not be like as like huge or like as like I don't know, but like another thing that I've learned is participating in readathons. I have met like so many new booktubers. Well, I haven't met them, but like I feel like I've learned about a lot more new booktubers that I don't think I have otherwise like started watching if it wasn't for like a readathon. Going back to like the Amazing Readathon, like there's been a couple that I've met. I don't know how to pronounce some of their names, but when I first started Booktube, like I always stuck with Elliot Brooks, and then I want to say Murphy, and then there was a couple other ones that were like more fantasy booktubers when I like first started. I feel like I've branched out a lot. When I first, like right before I started my channel, I think I met Leandra, and then I met Katie and Coda, I think, when I first like started doing more of like the live shows. And like I feel like meeting new people, I feel like this point is like evolving of like meeting people instead of like doing readathons, so I'll go to that. So, like meeting new people wasn't as hard as I thought, and like putting in readathons, like meeting more new people has definitely helped like branch out and me not being like so like as much of a hermit, because it's like I'm an introvert, so like me talking to people is like a little tough. So like between like readathons and like watching like booktubers live shows, I have definitely like feel like I've been introduced to like more people, and like I can like start building more friendships with people, and like it's been fun. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I've met more people like recently, like since January, February-ish. So definitely I feel like that was another like thing that I've learned. That part has been fun, I'm not gonna lie. My next point would be, this has definitely been like a more recent thing too, sort of, kind of, is to be like more consistent. Like I have been like the most inconsistent person, I feel like, on like the entire internet. Cause it's just like, I get like super excited about things, and then like I will like go like crazy, and then like I feel like I'm burnt out. Like I burn out like super fast. So like me being like consistent and like pacing myself and like having a schedule has definitely helped within like the past like month and a half, 2 months. So I definitely, like, from what I have learned is like if you're like, when you're consistent, like people know what to expect they know what to expect. And then second, like it helps me not get burnt out as fast. So like I did take like 2 pretty long breaks in like my past year. So my first long break was like from like the end of September to like January. And then like my second break was from, I want to say March to April-ish. So like I've learned not to go like jump like feet first, and like to kind of pace myself. And then with that, like I can be more consistent without getting like crazy burnt out, if that makes any sense to any of you. But so like, it's just, I feel like the more like the more I pace myself, like the better off that I will be. I want to say like another thing that I've learned is that like I'm kind of like getting to know like the books that I like to read. I mean, like I really like the fantasy genre, I'm not gonna lie, but like I have been like getting into like more of like mysteries and like thrillers. I mean, like I have like 2 shelves of Stephen King's. Obviously, like I don't mind like thrillers or like mysteries, but like I've definitely like been branching out with authors and with like different genres. So like I feel a little proud of myself, and like the fact that like that I'm able to branch out with like my reading and like getting to know my own tastes. That definitely helps like me with like recommending books to people. And then like if people recommend the books to me, like it's like they'll know like what kind of books I like to read, and then it won't be like, it's like I don't know what I want to read next. But I'm not gonna lie, like I do have trouble like with different authors, because I am like, I wouldn't say stubborn, but like I do tend to lean like with authors that I already know and like that I like their writing styles of. So like me branching out with different authors has been a little tougher, but like I feel like I'm making progress. The author that like I've come to love, I want to say like this year pretty much, is Freida McFadden. Like I love her books. I pretty much binged like the Housemaid series in like the month of June, and it is insane. Like I've never read like a bunch of books that fast by an author in like a long time. So like I feel like her books have been like super bingeable. So like I'm trying to find like more books that are like that. Now I understand the hype around her. So like I'm just now looking for like authors and like other books that are kind of like The Housemaid, or kind of like authors that are like Freida McFadden. So that's like my next challenge. But if you guys know of any authors that are like Freida McFadden or like have similar writing styles, let me know, because it's just, I'm always looking for that. And it's like I've loved her. I want to say I've really loved the Housemaid series. I've really liked, I think I've read Ward D. I think I gave that a 4-star. And then the one that I wasn't like very fond of was The Surrogate, I think was what it was called. I think that was like my lowest rated one from her. And that was also my first book. So I don't think that was like the best starting point. But if you guys know of any authors that are like her, let me know. I will gladly like take all like the recommendations that I can get. The last thing that I've definitely learned from like my year on YouTube would be like I don't need like the fancy equipment. I mean obviously like I have a camera, but like I know that like a lot of people like on Booktube like use their phones and stuff. So like I don't necessarily think that like me buying like a camera, like an actual camera was absolutely necessary. I don't know, like I feel like a lot of like phones and stuff are like fantastic, and we were talking about like this on like sprints that I was on, like because I'm like, as I'm filming this, I'm on some reading sprints, so we're kind of like, it made sense to kind of like touch on this as my like last like thing that I've learned, even though it was kind of in my notes. But I did, for like my first couple videos, I think I used my phone or like an old camera that I had. Me like going out and buying like all like new equipment makes no sense, especially if like this is definitely like a hobby. I don't know, like I just like I feel like a kind of not like the thing that like gonna make you like the best, like definitely like the best booktuber, but I definitely like understand. Like the thing I'm saying is like you don't need like the crazy like fancy equipment. Like I like my first couple were like on an old camera, and then I think I did a couple on my phone, and then I've done like a lot of reading sprints because like starting back in May I started doing a lot more reading sprints because I didn't want to do like a ton of sit down videos. So like the quality, as long as I can like hear the person and like see them, Like for me, like the video quality is not like a huge deal. And obviously like it shouldn't be like the end all be all of like you doing something that you love. And like it's just like for me, like I've been looking at like getting a new mic as just like I'm wearing the one that I have is like I clip on my shirt and like I bump it all the time. So like I don't obviously like I could probably use like the mic that's on my camera, but like I live in an apartment that like where you can like hear everything. So like I feel like having like for me like having a better microphone, like this isn't for everybody, but like I want something that like won't pick up all of the noise. So like for me it makes more sense. And like I don't want to be like, and like the girls in like the where I'm sprinting on right now like are what's kind of helped out a lot too with like having this point make more sense. It's just like you don't need like all of like the fancy stuff. Like I'm one of those people who like was super nervous when starting my channel, and I'm glad like I didn't buy it like outright when I first started, because I did take those 2 long breaks. So like the camera that I have, I think I found it on Facebook Marketplace, I think, and it was in like really good quality. Like the only thing that I would say would be like a must would be like extra batteries. Like I have like 4 extra batteries. So like I feel like on days where I do batch film, like those extra batteries like definitely come in handy. So that's really the only thing that I would say like you would need is, well, at least like 2 extra batteries. Like I feel like 4 is like super obnoxious, but that's definitely like the one big thing that I would like suggest. But like everything else, it makes sense to not like go out and like buy like the fanciest thing when you're first starting out. I do have like a ring light that I use in like the winter because it gets dark at like 6 o'clock. So like that extra light, I mean, I use it only like 6 months out of the year. I mean, for me, like don't just go out and buy like all the equipment, because it's like you don't know if you'll like it or not. So like I was kind of like lucky enough to buy like the things that I wanted, and like I'm in for like the long haul. So I don't know, that's for me right now. I don't know if that made any sense, but so those are all like the things that I've learned in like my first like year of YouTube. I feel like this year went super fast, and like I am like surprised, because I feel like every year has gone like faster and faster, and like I'm not prepared. So that's like all that I have for you guys today. If you guys have like any other like what you guys have learned like being like on YouTube or like Booktube, let me know in the comments. I will definitely like, I just want to see if they like differ from mine, or if some of them are the same. But that's all that I have for you guys today, and I will see you guys all in the next one.